I felt so dumb. I didn't realize a service dog and an emotional support dog were two different things. I knew they were different because the names are different, but I didn't realize in which ways they were different. A service dog is trained. That's a trained animal to take care of the person that has the need that they help with. An emotional support dog is just a dog you feel a connection to that you just get to emotionally support. The dog doesn't have a choice, really. The dog is... You just roll up on a dog one day and you're like, I'm gonna tell you everything. That's... Wow, I did not know. Had no idea. And I bring it up because my friend, she got an emotional support dog for her husband without knowing that this dog was an emotional wreck. I don't know what's wrong with the dog. They bring the dog home. Something wrong with the dog throat, okay? I don't know what it is, but it can't bark right. So it doesn't bark, it just screams, okay? And not like a yelp. This isn't sad. This is worse than that. It just screams human screams, okay? So the dog, I was on the phone with her, heard the dog in the background, and the dog was like, oh! That's just all the time. That's all day what the dog does. Nonstop. It's crazy. The dog has bad nerves, and so it screams all the time. Everything sets it off. You pet the dog, it'll scream, and then it'll let you pet it, right? Because you snuck up on it to pet it. So you pet it, you're like, oh. It's terrible. Dog's a light sleeper, too. So the dog will be taking naps, most Instagrammable naps you've ever seen. Just like belly up, paws down, everything. And it'll still be snoring little puppy snores, too, like, oh. That's how it wakes up every day. And so she's like, my life is hell. This is terrible because I got the dog as an emotional support dog for my husband, not knowing that the dog is anxious and my husband's anxious. So the dog is emotionally supporting the husband just in the wrong direction. You know what I mean? Because then the husband is like, I don't feel so good. And the dog's like, yeah, you're right. It's a lot to be worried about, dog. It's crazy out here. What's that over there? Huh? Like, that's what it's doing all the time. She can't get any sleep because the dog sleeps with them. So the dog sleeps in between. It's actually adorable. It's like very like home living. Her right here, dog over here, husband over here. But they live in like a noisy apartment, paper thin walls, so you can hear the door slam from down the hall, right? And so the dog waking up all night. So somebody will slam the door down the hall, a door that has nothing to do with them, that is none of their business, and the dog will be like, oh! And then her husband will be like, ah! And then she will be like, ah! That's just all day. That's just going and revolving, this domino effect of screams. It got so bad, someone called the police. Police show up to her door, knock. She answers like, hey, I'm here to do like a wellness check. Neighbor said that they heard screaming. And she's like, oh, no, I'm fine. I'm okay and everything. And my husband's here. Come over. He comes over to the door. He's like, hey, I'm good. We're all good in here. And the cop is like, oh, okay, cool. Where's that third person? Because they said specifically that there was 3 people. And then she's like, no, it's just us here. So now they look like they've murdered a person. Like now it looks like a cover-up, right? And he's like, no, it's just here. Cop's writing down everything that they're saying. As the cop is writing, he dropped his pen, and the dog in the background is like, oh! And the cop sees the dog and is like, and then she's like, oh, yeah, that must have been what it was. I got the dog for my husband, but it turns out that the dog is anxious and my husband is anxious. My life is hell. I can't. Oh. Okay. Have y'all seen how much trouble Lizzo is in? This is crazy. This is genuinely wild, you know? If you don't know, like, Lizzo has a lawsuit out that's like coming at her for like all types of discrimination and body shaming and stuff like that. And it's her fans who are like genuinely hurt. Her fans are very hurt by the whole thing. She lost 150,000 followers on Instagram alone in one day when the news broke. 150,000 followers in one day. That means even bots were like, I can't endorse this. This is unacceptable. But genuinely, I think this is the thing. I think that Lizzo's fans are so hurt because she's known to them and to a lot of the world as this like true beacon of like light, loving yourself, forget haters, embrace who you are and everything. Which is why this should be a lesson to everybody in here, everyone listening to me right now. This is a lesson to all of us to never, ever become a positive influencer. Don't do it. Don't do it. There's too far to fall. Oh my God. I'm not even like a famous guy, but I still, in case I ever get there, tell people all the time that I can be a dick. Just to give myself some breathing room, you know what I mean? Just a little bit, you know? That way when I fall off my pedestal, I sprain my ankle instead of break my neck, you know what I mean? Because I'm human. Something's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna catch me on TikTok one day, just yelling at a United Airlines gate agent. And when I get caught, even people who don't know will be like, he always told us he was a dick. Like, I kind of laid it all out there. Oh, it's tough. And I think that this is the reason that it's so tough for people. We do a thing that is not fair to us and it's not fair to the people that we do it to, where we pull our role models, our like heroes, positive influences from people that we already like from doing other stuff. You notice that? We rarely ever make an actual activist famous. You know, there are people doing the work. There are people, whatever you care about, there are people in the world only doing that thing. But instead of finding them and lifting them up, we're like, no, after LeBron dunked, he looked in the camera and said, Black Lives Matter, bitch. So I think the cops have to stop. I think that's all we need to do, really. We can't keep doing this thing where we conflate talent for character. You know? You gotta be very careful. Be very careful of the people that seek power and the people that seek fame, because they're usually the same. And then we act surprised when we see their worst sides, you know? And we only do this thing with celebrities. You never do that with a regular dude with a regular job. You know what I mean? Somebody can sing, doesn't make Martin Luther King, you know? We never do it to regular people. I've never had a plumber that was so good, I was like, he must be a good dad. Like, there's something about the way he plumbed that just spelled father figure, you know what I mean? Like, the way he be pulling it out. I go the other way now. Now when I see somebody super talented out here dancing, popping and locking and stuff, I'm like, oh, he probably beat people. Like, I can see it, yeah, because he knows the moves, he knows how to choke, you know what I'm saying? And we don't know. We don't know what happened. We can feel how we feel, but we don't know, right? But I will say, it doesn't help that Lizzo hired Cosby's lawyer. That's I don't know. We don't know, but that doesn't feel good. You know what I mean? It just doesn't. I don't know how to describe it, but like if you ever told me, you told people and you confront me and you were like, you did this thing, and I was like, I didn't do that shit. Give me the nigga that Cosby got. All right. Like I said. No. Doesn't sit well, you know. All right. I have to go soon. Everybody's had a gun story so far, so I figure I'll tell a quick one. I was in Texas. Texas is like open carry, you know. And so I saw these two dudes. I was in Target, right? And I saw these two dudes bump into each other, and they both whipped around. And they didn't seem angry, but they were checking each other up and down. I was like, this is some like alpha male type thing is about to happen, right? And then one was like, I see you're carrying. And the guy went, I sure am. And like, I should point out real quick that this is at the self-checkout at Target. So I'm just trying to ring myself up. Like I'm over, but he over here and he over here. So I'm gonna get shot because I'm in between, right? You can't have a standoff with somebody in the middle. No Western has ever done that. You know what I mean? So I'm like y'all, please, we are in Target. And so then he's like, I sure am. And the other guy's like, so am I. And the guy who did this goes, oh my God, we have the same gun. Oh my God, that's so dope. They both pulled out their guns and they both had the same like camo print, everything. I was like, wow, what an adorable outing. You all were so great. Thank you so much. I'm Josh Johnson. I don't know if this story resonated with people the way that it resonated with me, but they caught the Pennsylvania convict that escaped and everything. All right, did you already know about this? Okay, so some of y'all didn't, so I'll explain it very quickly. Very, very quickly, I'll try to give you the rundown on what happened. Basically, there was this guy, and you can watch it, they released the footage of this dude escaping prison, right? He escaped prison, okay? So then this dude walks up. I should also mention, when I saw the escape, I was rooting for him to be like a burglar or like you know what I mean? Like something that you could bank rob or something you could really get in the story. Turns out he's a murderer. So I was like, please find him immediately. Please, please, please. He is killed. He is a killer, all right? And the worst part about him being a killer is he little. So he is a little killer, and that is the scariest type of killer. Bro, you are big. If you stood up to kill me, I'd be like, that makes sense. I'm getting killed by a man right now. You know what I mean? Like if a big man goes to kill, that looks like what he want to do anyway. Like if you a big dude and you kill, that all makes sense. But if you a little killer, if you just walking, I'm like that's because I don't know who he killed, what he did, but all I know is he a killer and he little, so it must felt like Chucky coming at you when he was coming. Doesn't even feel like he take regular steps. He feel like they do that wind-up toy shit, you know what I'm talking about? Where he's like, murder, you know what I mean? And so I was freaked out by that. I was like, they told me he was a killer, I was like, please catch him quick. So this is what he did. So basically, he walks up to two pillars that are in the prison, right? And he put his hand on one pillar. And he put his foot on the other pillar. And then this motherfucker moonwalked up until he got to the roof. I've only seen Jackie Chan do that in Rumble in the Bronx and Looney Tunes. Those are the only two that I've seen moonwalk up two pillars like that. And he did it like it was nothing. And then he jumped off the like side of the building, was on the roof, jumped over that wire, jumped off the building, and then ran into the bushes and stuff. And they couldn't find him because he little, okay? And this is the worst part. Okay, so he's so little that they locked down everybody. They made everyone in a wide radius stay inside. They were like, it was where? It was in my parents' backyard. He was in your parents' backyard? Ooh, okay, all right. So I'm gonna tell them the rest of the story, and then I gotta, no, okay. So I'm gonna tell, so then, okay. All right, so then this motherfucker is out, right? And so then they lock everybody down in a radius because they don't want anybody to leave the house because he's so little, they don't know where he could be. So he's so little that he could be under sinks. He could be in cabinets. They have no idea where this man could be. They were like, don't go outside. Don't go for your little run because when you come back in, he could be in your pants leg. He is just that little. This man is tiny as hell, all right? He's so little. Stay where you are. And they even locked down school. And a lot of people were upset and didn't understand why they did that. But I did. I got it immediately. He little. All he needs is a backpack and he one of the kids. Now he's even harder to find. Is he under a sink? Is he in home economics class? Like, where is it? So then, all right. So then this is as far as I know and what I saw, but I'm going to get a little bit more confirmation in a second. So then the way that they found him was also hilarious, because then they found him, right? And they were using this like infrared to track where he could be, because they knew he was in the woods, and him being in the woods makes the story even funnier. I'm not gonna lie, because him being in the woods like a Keebler elf, just like a little murdery, like, you know what I mean? So then they get the infrared. Then they find a pattern that they think is him. Then they release the like manhunt dogs, right? And so I'm not a cop. I don't really know what goes into it, but from what I've heard, this might be bad information. I'm just telling you what I heard, all right? The manhunt dogs aren't like the drug dogs. These dogs only get to go out to do manhunt stuff. So if they not on manhunt, they bored, right? So then they release these dogs. These dogs could not be happier. These dogs were out like, yes! The dogs were, you can see it on dogs' face, this is what we play for! This was the Super Bowl for those dogs, right? They were like, yeah! And so then the dog, like one of the dogs caught him, right? And they caught him. Like the dog got him, but got him. Like got him on the head. And the dog biting his whole head is just a testament to how little he is. Like, I'm surprised the dog didn't swallow him. Like, your whole head fit in the dog's mouth like a lion circus act? That's insane. He was in your parents' backyard. So, okay, and for a little while? Or like, how long was he in? And when he was in the backyard, was he just in between two blades of grass? Like, how did y'all not?
Ran through, and like cops let them know the next day, but it was like a night.
Oh, so he ran through your parents' backyard, and then the cops came to your parents the next day. And they were like, listen, he little and he was here. Which is not reassuring at all. It's like for a cop to come to your house and be like, this little motherfucker was here. And we still don't know where he is. He could still be here, all right? Check your collar. Check behind your ear. Is he there? This was the littlest manhunt we've ever been on. It was like they were looking for Stuart Little. It was crazy. In your parents' back, and were your parents like freaked out by that? Oh, they weren't freaked out?
We locked our doors, so it was fine.
Your parents are like, we locked our doors, so it's all good. We closed the windows, it's fine. Was your dad acting like tough about it?
Absolutely not.
Oh, your dad? Okay. I thought maybe your dad would be like, I'm gonna step on that little motherfucker when I see him. Like, no, wow. Ooh. Oh, almost feels weird to change the subject now, but I'm gonna try. I know. What do I do now? So, look. Confidence is... Confidence is not a meritocracy. One of the things that hurts men in their lives more than anything is not having confidence. And some men have so much confidence, and it's like completely unearned. You're like, where did it come from? Did it fall out of the sky and hit them? Was it like an asteroid? Where did they get this confidence? I'll give you an example. This happened last night, right? I was on a walk, right? I had just got some ice cream, a little sorbet, okay? I'm on my walk, I'm enjoying my strawberry sorbet, and I see next to me two beautiful, like truly, truly beautiful women, right? And we're all about to cross the street. And then as I was looking over at them, past them, I saw one of the raggiest dudes I've ever seen in my entire life, right? And he was on a bike, but it looked like a city bike, but it looked like it used to be a city bike. You know what I mean? You know, like when a city bike really been through it to where even city bike is like, you can keep this one. We don't. Like it looked decommissioned. Like it's like it wasn't even blue anymore. It was just busted looking. And he on the bike, right? And so then it wasn't. I mean, maybe it wasn't even a city bike because it had a chain on. Anyway, so he's riding the bike. Okay, and he rides up to where the three of us are standing, and he immediately shoots his shot with these two women. I've never had broke, bike, shooting my shot confidence. And two women who look done up. Like, they look like they just got, like, it must be one of their birthdays or something. They look incredible. And he rolled up and he did the thing where he tried to slow down and he wanted to swerve on him. You could tell he wanted to swerve, but he couldn't get the handlebars in the right position. So, he wanted to be like he wanted to, like, you know what I mean? He wanted to, like, flip on him. But instead, he was just like, how y'all doing, ladies? How y'all doing? And so all three of us turned. I don't know why I turned. Like, but all three of us turned. Like, and then he just proceeded to lay it on thick. He's like, how you doing? Y'all looking good tonight? And it's like, it was one of those things where I was like, where is it coming from? But then I thought to myself, I'm like, the place that misplaced confidence really comes from it's a numbers game. Every man knows that it's a numbers game. And you have to remove your emotions from it because he knows in his head, if they say no to him, that literally just makes sense. So we can only go up from here. You wonder why raggedy dudes try it on with you? It's because they know you should say no. On the off chance you having a bad night, your confidence fucked up, you don't really have hope, and you say yes, that's my night. And so they at first they were going to ignore him, but then they saw that the light wasn't turning because we still had 20 seconds on this other one. So we knew it was going to be 20 seconds. So he's like, how y'all doing? Everything good? You want to hang out? What y'all doing later and everything? And then they were like, oh, no, we're good. Thank you so much and everything. And then he was like, all right, I mean, you missing out when you're not hanging out with Leroy. He said his name in the third person. Like, that's the confidence. Anyway, so then he's like, you're missing out if you're not out with Leroy. And then he went to like start up again, and you could tell you want to do the like when you're on a bike and you try to really get one going so you get high on it so you can really come down. So he tried to get high on it, and right then the chain broke, and so the chain broke on the bike, and then he just, without saying a word, just sort of got off the bike and started walking the bike away. He was like, all right, y'all missing out, but all right. One of my favorite like types of stories in the world are snitch stories. You know what I mean? Like when somebody is part of a criminal organization and they turn and they try to like not get caught. So, and I think it's because I'm a snitch. I am. Like, I'm such a snitch that when I was little, no kids wouldn't let me do dirty stuff with them because they were like, you gonna tell. And I was like, yeah, I would. Yeah. You're not even wrong. I really would. I would panic. I'd tell everybody. I'd tell everybody everything. I'd probably tell them stuff that didn't even happen. I'm telling them just to make the story feel full. My favorite snitch story of all time was this guy was in a gang and he got caught on some unrelated stuff. And then he turned state's evidence. Right? So then he started working with police, became a confidential informant, and was giving them everything on the gang as an enterprise. And then the day came that they had planned for so long. He was supposed to give them the time and the place to meet where the stash house was, when the stash house would have the most money, the most guns, and have everybody there. And so the day came, he called the police. Police bust in, and they're arresting everybody, and they're seizing everything. And there's video that leaked of it that then became part of a little documentary on it. And you can see in the thing that the cops, when they're busting in, forgot to arrest him. And so he knows he needs to be arrested. So as the cops are even running past him, he's like, oh no! Oh my God! What is happening? Ooh! Y'all, they got us. Oh no. And there's a little subtitle on the thing where the man is sitting on his hands, uncuffed, whispering to the cop, motherfucker, cuff me. What are you doing? You trying to get me killed? Man, you all have been so fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm Josh Johnson. I just want to be fun. Like, I'm not fun. As a guy, I'm not a fun guy. I want to be so bad. I'll see people having fun and be like, that looks dope. And I'll tell you this, there's nothing less fun than catching somebody watch you have fun. Because that happens to me all the time. There are times where I'm standing to the side and I'm watching somebody have fun. And no matter what you're doing that's fun, if you catch somebody watching you have fun, you stop. You stop immediately what you're doing. You'll be having fun, whether you're dancing, you be riding go-karts, whatever. And then if you just see someone off to the side like me, like, yeah. You look like you're having a good time. You were immediately not having a good time. It's the worst. It's so bad. I hate it. I don't like being the one to do. I didn't know that when you at a party and people are dancing and you are not dancing, you watching them dance. I didn't know you're supposed to move your head to the rhythm. I didn't know you're supposed to move your head to the rhythm side to side. I didn't know that's what we were doing. Like when people are dancing and they're over there, you're like, yeah, I didn't know it was that. I've done two very off things. One, I didn't know I was supposed to move my head if I was watching people dance, and I was supposed to move my head to the beat. So one time there were these people dancing, and then they caught me watching them have fun, but I was being completely still. And that is also heroin. You know what I mean? Like, you really getting it, and then somebody off to the side against the wall is like, yeah. Keep doing that. It's very upsetting, you know? And like I said, I didn't know we were supposed to move our head side to side. So then there was another time I was like, okay, I'm supposed to move my head to the beat. So then I was moving my head to the beat, but I was going back and forth. And that is also unsettling to watch. You're dancing, somebody's like, yeah, to the rhythm, yes. Yeah, get it, get it. I just want to be fun. I want to be fun like Brazilians are very fun. Brazilians as a people, they have incredible music, beautiful dancing. They're beautiful people and they know how to have fun. I read about a guy who was so fun. This guy partied for 4 days straight. 4 full days of party. He partied from New Year's Eve well into the new year. So first and then 3 days. He partied for 4 days straight without realizing he had been shot in the head. That's a fun guy. That's a very, very fun individual, you know? This dude got shot in the head and went to more parties and was more fun. If I get shot, I don't know about y'all, but if I get shot in the head, I die. All right? Maybe that's just how I was raised, but like, I don't get shot in the head and keep carrying on twerking. I go to another plane where the mortal coil cannot follow, all right? This dude got shot in the head and went to more parties and was progressively more fun per party. If I get shot in the head, that is everybody's problem. I'll tell you that right now. If I got shot in the head tonight, we are all going to the hospital. Please believe me. And I will be calling out individuals if I see you trying to peel off. I'm like, no, Cindy, I need you. This man was shot in the head. And we don't even know the circumstances of him getting shot in the head. I was reading about it. Nobody knows this. Okay, I came up with some theories because no one knew. I think that maybe, you know how guys can be at a party, you're out here dancing or you're walking with your drink, somebody bumps into you, doesn't apologize. Now we have a problem, right? So now you get nose to nose trying to get them to apologize. Then you get loud and everybody's watching. And then you get like fully, you know, like when dudes do this, like this full on in my face, our noses are touching. This is always weird. Anytime I see this, I'm like, y'all should just kiss. It would make more sense if you kiss right now. Because this is the thing. If he's here and I'm here, he could still really, he could choke me. He could do anything, right? Like, this is real fighting could happen right here. Here, you're a little too close. Here, there really isn't anything you would punch us if you punch me right now. And so maybe, you know, they got into it. They got nose to nose or whatever. They were ready to fight. And then maybe this dude was like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do has got more people killed than any other sentence in language. It goes, what you gonna do, followed closely by, I wouldn't take that if I was you. It's like, those two are deadly, right? So then
maybe he goes, what you gonna do? And then the other guy pulls out a gun and shot him in the head. And then he went, rude. And then walked about his business. But it didn't matter. He had been shot in the head. The head is where they keep all the brains. I don't know how this man was shot in his head. And didn't know. I mean, look, what I think actually happened is that he was probably getting twerked on. Twerking is very distracting. If you're getting twerked on by the right person, you won't notice anything else happening in the room. He was probably like, girl, you getting it. Oh my God, you really getting it. You really getting it. Don't worry about that. This is a loud noise, baby girl. Keep doing what you do. Oh. No, it's wild. They asked him at the hospital. When he finally went to the hospital, they were like, you've clearly been shot in the head. What did you think happened? And he was like, oh, I thought I got hit in the head with a rock. That's the most shot in the head thing to say I've ever heard in my entire. You know, like when you at a party and you having a good time and everybody just starts throwing rocks. You know that common occurrence that happens at every party where everybody's having fun, we're all dancing, and then that one guy goes, pebbles for everybody. You know that thing that happens all the time to each and every one of us. Thought you got hit in the head with a rock. What? Only reason he went to the hospital is that his arm was spasmic. But he didn't even go right away. He was probably getting twerked on in the moment. It was like, girl, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing, girl. You're really getting it. Oh my God. That's amazing. Everything you're doing is great. They finally stopped dancing after like a day. I don't know. And then she was like, where do you live? Let's go back to your place. He was like, girl, I live over there. And she was like, where? He's like, I'm pointing right at it, girl. She's like, what's wrong with your arm? He's like, oh, this has been happening for 3 days, girl. I saw this video of this guy who was at a white guy in Alabama that was at a Bass Pro Shop. So far, whole story checks out, right? So far, nothing is out of the ordinary, right? And this dude is very much on drugs. I don't know what drugs, but I know drugs, right? He's on drugs. Now, the story starts in the parking lot. He drives up to the Bass Pro Shop, and he immediately drives his car into a light pole at the Bass Pro Shop in the parking lot, and then he backs up and does it 8 more times, chops it down like a tree, right? And then he gets out and walks in the Bass Pro Shop. So you already know my man is ready to play. And so walks in the Bass Pro Shop. The video starts where it starts, so I don't know what happened in between. I don't know when he got naked. All I know is this dude. The video starts with this dude, and he just been doing cannonballs into the Bass Pro Shop fish tank. So these fish are all compromised, all right? So he is doing naked cannonballs over and over again. He getting deep, and I'd like to think they called the police when he got naked, but maybe they didn't. Maybe they were like, let's see what he does. And so my man is just climbing up, dunking, and then you can tell he's on drugs because he's speaking drugs, right? Because then in the video, he swims to the front of the tank and he's like, and when I heard that, I was like, that's drugs. That's not the native tongue of any land. And so the police come. So now we're going to switch for a second from people recording him on their phones to the police body cam, right? So police show up. They see him in the fish tank, and they see him. And he waved to them. It's not really phased. And so then they are trying to figure out how he got up there. So then they go ahead and they start climbing up some of the rocks, right? So then they turn, police body cam. They turn, and when they turn to him in the tank, he's gone. And so you're like, okay, he on drugs, but is he magic? Because that's a different situation. Can you imagine if a magician is on drugs? David Blaine already like that. Imagine David Blaine on drugs. That'd be a problem. Make you feel like you on drugs. And so So then he's gone. He's gone because even though he's on drugs, he had the presence of mind that, hey, that's the police. They probably won't talk to me. And so then he jumped out of the tank. But the tank is like 18 feet high, right? So this man naked jumped out of the tank just onto the ground and he landed Family Guy style, right? So this dude has knocked himself out on the ground, right? And he laying over here like this, like he just fully passed out. And you can even hear a cop through another cop's body cam turn and he's not there, and then they see him on the ground and you hear another cop go, oh shit. And then they come down. Now this man is like fully out, right? But he is on drugs. And so the drugs do wake him up just in time because now the cops are over him, right? I don't know if they had actually grabbed his wrist yet or anything, but this dude immediately wakes up on drugs, flips over, and kicks one of the cops in the balls, right? So that cop goes down. I don't know the code for it, but he's not getting back up for a minute, okay? And now the cops are all have bent knees because they're like, okay, we got a live one here. Like he got a lot of fight in him, right? And I almost never feel bad for the police, but in this instance, I'm not gonna lie, I feel pretty bad for those officers because they try to catch a dude who is on drugs and naked and wet, so he is very hard to catch. Basically impossible. Because every time they grab this man, he over here like, no, no, thank you. No jail for me, no. And he's slippery as a fish, so they really can't get a hold of him. No, jail doesn't feel nice. No, I don't want it. And it's horrible because then there's really nothing to grab. And I'm telling you, because he was naked in the tank and we saw it, there's nothing to grab, right? So they are fighting to catch this dude. They finally get a hold of him because I think they just been drying him off this whole time. You know what I mean? Through the entire scuffle. And they finally get him handcuffed and they're walking him out. And as they're walking about, this is back on people's phones now. As they're walking about, he's walking past people who've been recording him on their phones and he's going, bah, 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 bah. Now this next part is not on camera. I had to read about this. They take him outside, they put him in the back of the cop car, and this is the first time where even though he is on drugs, he's not having a good time. Because now he in the back of the cop car going, this feels unfair. And then on drugs, he starts kicking the door, and because he's on drugs, even though he got a naked, wet foot, he is so strong that he is kicking the car door so hard, he is warping the metal, right? And I saw that, and I was like, he must kick that cop's dick off. Like, that's horrible. Police had to come out and make a statement the next day where they were like, we hope that his actions on camera will lead to better decisions in the future. Also, we expect Officer Ortiz to make a full recovery. I try to be a good friend to my friends with anxiety, because I have anxiety too, but like, it's hard to really be there for someone with anxiety because they're right. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you ever really listen to an anxious person talk, they're making some very salient points. Like, their points are actually so good, it started to jack up my anxiety because I was like, fuck, I didn't think about that. Oh no! That's the worst. I'll tell you this, one time a friend called me. He was not doing well at all. And he was telling me how he wanted to, end it and everything. And then just started describing to me everything that was wrong in his life. And as I listened to my friend, I realized that we had the same life. And I'd be lying if I said I'd get a little defensive. Because he over here telling me, he's like, I can't do it anymore. I'm a grown man eating TV dinners every night. And I'm like, well, maybe you're doing your best, all right? It's like I'm doing open mics every night to a bunch of people who just feel like I'm bothering them while they try to watch the game. I'm like, well, maybe you gonna get better one day. It's weird how much anxiety there is over the election. Like truly nobody's happy. Like everybody's like, You even feel how it got in here? Everybody was like bummed out. You know? It's odd, right? Because it's like a rematch nobody wanted. It feels really, really crazy. That's why, if I'm being honest with you, I try to think a lot about how to solve big problems, right? And I'm not a doctor. I'm not an engineer. I'm not even helpful, all right? But I think about how to solve big problems. And I think that in this scenario, and I want to be clear where I'm coming from. I'm not like, I mean this across the board, you know? I grew up in Louisiana. I lived in Chicago. I live in New York now. I travel around the country. I'm not just speaking with like some partisan idea in mind. I'm saying I think that for this election, and just this one, right? For this one election, that the presidential race should be a race. Because no matter who wins, I think we will be more astonished than upset. You know what I mean? Like, no matter who wins, we're gonna be like, I didn't know he had it in him. That's wild. This is a beautiful, beautiful time of year. This is my favorite time of year because it's so fresh. I could do anything. I could really be anybody so far, you know? And by January 10th, I'm like, I'm me. Never mind. I had a lot of plans, but a week and a half. It's so early in the year, it's almost weird if you've already had a bad day. You know what I mean? But this is New York, so you know somebody has. I was on a bus on January 2nd and just heard a guy go, fuck, just to himself. I don't know what was going on in his life. But January 2nd, he was like, it's over. That's a wrap, right? Oh, it's crazy. I also love this time of year because it's the last little bit of runoff where you're still trying to return Christmas presents, like the bad ones. Like you on the phone with customer service, like, no, I have the receipt, please. Like it's. And here's the thing: a lot of people give gifts and everything, but they don't know if they gave a good gift to the person, especially if they don't know them well, right? And my thing is, this is how you tell if it's a good gift in this present day we live in. If you didn't get a gift for someone from a store that was looted in 2020, that's not a good gift. I'm not gonna lie. Do you know what I mean? It's a very easy metric now because look, I'm just saying everything's free when we looting. And there are brands that know that they didn't get touched. Like honestly, if I was a shop owner, I would be embarrassed if I showed up the morning after a riot and I get to my store, Nike store ransacked, Louis Vuitton store unrecognizable, and then my store pristine, not even broken glass. I'd be like, I gotta hang it up. I didn't know it would be like this. Can I burn it down and say it was part of the riot? Cause this is a shame.
I remember that was a very specific time. This is my favorite thing about any riot that happened in the U.S. in 2020. There were some stores that boarded up that really didn't need to bother. Like, nobody talks about that, but there are a couple places that were like, oh, we gotta batten down the hatches. Like, no, you really don't. I promise. Nobody is checking for you, okay? There were brands that were feeling themselves. Like, I don't know if you remember this, but you can look this up. This is a real thing that happened. In 2020, during the protests, there were Sweet Greens that boarded up in preparation. Sweet Green. I want to meet the person who made the decision. I want to meet the person who was like, all right, it might get crazy out here in Seattle. And you know it when it gets crazy. You know what niggas love is arugula. So we got to hold it down, all right? Got to protect the inventory, okay? Oh, no. No need to bother. You know, I said all that to say if you got me a Christmas present this year, a gift card from Sweet Green, you fucked up. That wasn't the move. You bought me grass. Have y'all been watching that Squid Game show? Okay, if you haven't watched it, then genuinely, I'm begging you, don't watch it. Okay, if you don't know what Squid Game is as a show, Squid Game, the show is a Korean drama, all right? It's probably one of the best TV shows that we have that fully encapsulates the idea of capitalism and what we do to each other when we're lacking, when we have need, and when there's literal money floating over our heads, the links that will go, right? And even the show becoming a show is a Cinderella story because the guy that wrote it, he pitched it around the world for 10 years and nobody wanted it. Finally, Netflix bought it. They put it up on their platform. It became an international sensation. There's games, there's toys, there's everything. And then they made the game show, which is weird. That's pretty odd because that means they also watched the show and they saw what a commentary was on the human psyche when it comes to money, when it comes to access and everything. And then they were like, yeah. We should do that. Yes, we should do that. Let's round up these pores and make them battle it out. We'll get 400 of the saddest stories you've ever heard in your fucking life. It's insane. And this is the other reason that I'm begging you not to watch it. Okay? In the show Squid Game, the Korean drama, when you lose, you die. In the game show, when you lose, a pack goes off. It explodes on you. And it's black. It's not red. It's ink. Squid Game. Very clever. And it explodes. But they still make the people fall like they died. And it feels like they test running killing a person in front of us. Do you know what I mean? Because when I was watching the show, the first person lost and then they fell. And I was like, that's a little dramatic. All right. And then 12 more people fell. And I was like, wait, are they really killing people on my TV right now? Because if they are, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Because they already shot the show and I'm at home. But can we make sure that for season 2, they don't kill anybody? Because I'm going to finish the show. It's compelling. But it's just a weird thing. I don't know. It's very unsettling because they make all these people tell the saddest parts of their life and they cut to them in the show and you know they're not going to win. Why are you telling me this is a physical American Idol? Why are you telling me the sad story and you know they're not going to get far? That's terrible. It would be a dude with the biggest tearjerker you could ever imagine. He's like, I'm just want to bring money back home for my cousin. He's got cancer herpes and he doesn't have a real house. He got half a house. So I want to pay for him to finish his house because he get rained on anytime it rains sideways a little bit. And so I just want to have a full roof for him to be under, not half a roof because he really got like half an umbrella over his head right now. And so I just want to do something nice for him because he donated a bunch of his bones to orphans. And so he already didn't have a good life to begin with. And then they zoom out of the person playing the game and you see he's the shortest man that's ever lived. You're like, he's not gonna get far at all. Physical limitations alone. Why are you getting me attached to his story? Or even worse, they'll interview like a smart woman and you'll be like, they're not gonna let her get far at all. She gonna slip up and say a big word in front of him and the dumbs are gonna jump on her. She gonna say one of those encyclopedia words that be like, get her out. She look like she can do puzzles. No, so jarring. Are y'all also following this Gypsy Rose thing? Okay. In case you don't know anything about Gypsy Rose, I'll try to bring you up to speed as quickly as possible. Gypsy Rose is a young woman, used to be girl. She was a girl when all this happened. Her mom has Munchausen by proxy, so her mom convinced her she was sick, convinced everyone else she was sick, told people she was sick, raised money for her because she was so sick. So she was like GoFundMe before GoFundMe, right? And so she was like raising all this money and everything. Then Gypsy realizes, hey, I'm not as sick as you're making me out to be. Around the same time that this happens, right? She makes a friend online. They start dating. That becomes her boyfriend, okay? And then she tells her boyfriend, you need to kill my mom so we can be together. I was not in the room when this conversation happened. But the way that I think it went was Gypsy gets close to this person and is like, you're gonna have to kill my mom so we can be together. And then he said, I was planning on killing somebody anyway, because it took so little convincing. This man is clearly out of his mind, right? Killing a mom should be several conversations. You should have to wear me down to kill your mom. If you tell someone, I need you to kill my mom so we can be together, and they go, yup, you are also in danger. That is absolute insanity. He said yes so quick. That's the reddest flag there is. He said it so quick. Once again, I was not in the room, but he agreed to it so fast. I'm pretty sure he finished her sentence. I'm pretty sure she was like, hey, I need you to. He's like, kill your mama, I got it. And she was like, I was going to say pass the remote, but okay. And so then that's what happens. They meet up, and then he kills the mom, and then they get caught immediately. They get caught so fast. I was genuinely disappointed in them. I was like, you couldn't make it a day. You got caught. They got caught so insanely quickly. And so then they're not together anymore because then they flipped on each other and everything. And it's hard to stay together when you first 48'd each other. Like, but you just immediately like, it was his crazy ass. I said it at once and he did it. And so then Gypsy got way less time than him, and she got out. She's out now. She got like 7 years. He got life because I'm pretty sure she only had to remind him once. I'm pretty sure she only had to be like, hey, that thing about killing your mama, yeah, it's on my calendar. All right. And look, I'm just saying, the main thing that they did wrong, besides killing a person, the main thing that they did wrong is that they didn't really understand the internet the way we don't really understand the internet. So all they did was have the most incriminating conversations online, right? I'm pretty sure they Skyped at one point. I was like, can you stop doing recordable stuff? And so then she gets out, and I saw like a TikTok of her, wishing everybody well, thanking everyone for wishing her well and everything, saying Happy New Year's. And then she said something interesting to me. She was like, I'm spending New Year's with my dad, my stepmom, and my husband. I was like, husband? And I was just shocked. I didn't know she had a husband. So I looked into it, and she had met somebody, and they got married in 2022. And I looked him up. Have y'all seen the husband?
Yeah.
Y'all seen? Okay. That man looks more like the Kevin James meme than Kevin James. I was genuinely blown away. There's a picture of him with Gypsy Rose where he's like, and it's not even a diss. That's just his swag, is that like cheeky, everything. And then apparently some people were coming for him online for some weird reason. I have no idea. And then Gypsy came to his defense, and she was like, it's okay, baby. They're just jealous because the D is fire. You know what? I'm glad you had a happy ending. I'm glad you're okay. I don't know. Whenever Tupac was murdered, it really was like Black Elvis. Like, we couldn't accept it. We were like, no, he went to Cuba because they was looking for him. Not likely, all right? But we never did that with Biggie. You notice that? Tupac and Biggie got shot within months of each other. And Tupac were like, no, he gonna come back one day. And Biggie, we were like, yeah, that checks out. That's wild. I can't help but think it's because Biggie was heavy. I do. I think deep down we know if it wasn't the bullets, it would have been butter. You know what I mean? Biggie was not long for this one. It was going to be the streets or the kitchen. One of them was coming for Biggie. You know? I don't know if y'all remember this, but back in the day, before the pandemic, they were talking about putting Harriet Tubman on like the 20 or something. I don't even remember what bill it was. And it was like, everyone had an opinion immediately. There were people who thought it was great. There were people who didn't care. A little bit, and then it turned out they cared. And then there were people that were like, no, we can't have this happen. And then Mnuchin said he'd block it, and he did. So it never happened. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I need Harriet on the 20. What bothers me the most is how is Harriet Tubman not had her own sneaker yet? Like, that seems... You know what I mean? Think about it. Who is more deserving of a sneaker deal throughout all the history of America than Harriet Tubman? Come on. If you don't know who Harriet Tubman is, she was the LeBron of escaped slaves, okay? She was putting up numbers. She got a lot of other people to freedom. Buckets. That would have been a motherfucker to be a slave owner while Harriet was around. You come outside, ain't nobody there. You're like... The commercial writes itself. It does. You know, I just beat the Golden State Warriors in my new Adidas Maxes. And it's like, oh, I ran to freedom. How about that? How do you beat that shoe? You don't. I do wonder, and this is a genuine question. I'm being sincere. This isn't like, I'm not going to make fun of you or anything. Does anyone here believe in aliens? Okay. So, this is my thing. I believed in aliens so hard when I was little. Like, when I was a little kid, I was like, it's just us in the whole universe? Come on, really? Just us. A whole universe. That seems wild, right? And then as I get older, it's becoming harder for me to believe in aliens. Because, especially after everything up until 2023, it's hard to believe in aliens because Trump didn't mention it while he was president. Like, that man told every secret. Anything they told him, he told us in an hour. Like, they would be in the room with this man and be like, you're not gonna tell anybody, right? And he's like, no. And then he leaves and he's like, folks, like, that was... He could not keep a secret at all. He had the leakiest White House of all time. And he never mentioned aliens, so now I'm like, maybe not. I don't know what to tell you. It's a tough one. For the people who believe in aliens, once again, I'm being sincere, I wonder if aliens haven't made broad daylight obvious contact with us because they think we're boring or because they've seen how we treat each other. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I was an alien above Earth looking down all this time, I'd be like, oof, they don't even like when you have different skin. And I got 3 dicks, so they gonna kill me immediately. Just out of jealousy, if nothing else. God damn. Might as well stay up here where it's safe. Ooh. I feel this is a weird thing. I respect that people have to be like choosy when they're dating, and sometimes you have to make choices based off, like, you get a little inkling of a thing and you call it a red flag, or because you're like, I know how it's gonna go after that. And sometimes people are overly harsh about that, but it's necessary, you know? Like, I think about my friend. I went to a club with my buddy, and he had a full, like, almost rom-com experience. He saw this woman across the club, truly across the club. He was like, the light was just shining on her a little extra, you know. So then my man made his way over, and it was almost like the dance floor was parting as he was walking over to it. And then he gets up to her, he lays his thickest game on that he has. He's like, hey, how you doing? You know, mind if I buy you a drink or something? And she turns around and looks him up and down and goes, no. Nah, that's not what we doing. And he tries one more time. He's like, why can't I buy you a drink? Get to know you. We might like each other. And she looks him up and down again and she goes, your shoes. Which I know, it sounds super vapid. That's wild. It sounds really materialistic, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm on her side. Because when he looked down, both his shoes were untied. And it's like, yeah, bro, how did you? There's no better way to walk up to a woman and be like, you have to take care of me eventually, than to have both your shoes untied when you approach the conversation. How'd you even make it over without tripping? It's crazy. Dude, one shoe could happen to anybody. Both shoes hasn't happened since the 3rd grade, all right? If you approach a woman with both your shoes untied, you might as well walk up with a glass of milk in one hand and a cookie in the other. Talking about, you want to be friends? Because that's what the fuck you look like with both your shoes untied. It's insane. I was watching a movie this week. Have you heard of Downfall? Anybody? Okay. It's a German movie, and it's about the last 10, 12 days of like Hitler and the Third Reich. It was like when they were losing the war, and it's from the account of the secretary that was in the bunker of just like, you know, Hitler was freaking out and everything. And it got me to thinking, like, how do you contend with the idea that there's a higher power while watching all of the horrible stuff that happened around the world in World War II? It's like the worst atrocities against humanity happen, but also there's supposed to be this higher power that's fully in control and everything. And people talk about if they could go back in time, they'd kill baby Hitler and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, yeah. But if I was God, I think I would have just given Hitler a real high voice. Ain't nobody following him then. If that dude rock up and be like, listen to me. There's something happening in the fatherland that must be stopped. I don't even think you let that dude work fast food. You'd be like, nah, that voice too annoying. He's like, listen to me about the Jews. It's like, no, we caught you. I'll be vulnerable for a second. I thought I had it all figured out, you know. I was sexting. And sexting's a very precarious situation. You want to make sure you're sexting at the right time, you know? Because if it's like 8 o'clock, you still got other people texting you, you know? You don't want to accidentally send a text that's incoming to somebody because you opened the thing, you know what I mean? And it's also like, what if you're not that skilled? Like, what if I'm not good texting with just my left hand? Now you texting typos and stuff. It's knocking the sexy right out of your sexting. You know, it's like, I'm gonna fud your bass. It's like, nobody's into it now, you know. So I had an idea. I was like, this is what I'm gonna do. And I didn't talk to anybody about it. I had never heard anybody doing this, but in my mind, it was the best thing to do. I was like, I'm just gonna speak to text. So that way, I don't gotta worry about the other hand and everything, and I can just like get in the zone and stuff. I don't have to worry about other people texting me and everything. And it went horribly wrong. Because I wasn't at home. I was at my childhood home. So I was in my room, but it wasn't my house, you know? And it was, 9 o'clock or so. and we were sexted. That look, I'll read you the thing right now. This is what. Okay. All right. So she's like, "Oh, okay. And what's good? What would you do if you were here right now?" And then I was like, "Girl, I would tear those clothes off. And Mom, what are you doing in here?" Mom, I had the door closed. You can't just open the door. I was just coming to see if you wanted dinner. No, I'm okay. Mom, get out right now. Boy, how you gonna tell me to get out somewhere in my house? I'm sorry, Mom. Please, can you please leave and close the door? You know we don't have closed doors in this house. Which is true. That's a very like black family thing of like you not closing the door in my house. What you up to in there? I was like, Mama, please leave. Please, please leave. And she was like, all right, what's the big deal? I was like, nothing, Mom, just please get out of here. So anyway, girl, I would say... All right, thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great night.
Do you think it's weird that we put serial killers to death? No? Okay. It's just... No, just hear me out. I only ask because somebody got to kill all them, and it's usually the same person. So isn't an executioner just a serial killer that made it? Like... Isn't he just like the industry plant of serial killers? Like, maybe not. I'm just asking questions. Okay. Y'all probably won't like this. Okay. I saw this story and it blew my mind. I still can't get over it. Okay. There was a guy in, I think it was Indianapolis in the 60s maybe, and he was essentially like, they didn't really have the words for it back then, but he was a serial killer, and he killed, and I think he killed and ate 8 women, right? And they caught him because he just got sloppy. He became a hoarder, you know what I mean? And like, it was pretty easy. Once they walked in, they were like, there is evidence everywhere. I am stepping in evidence right now. This is crazy. And so then they, gave him the perp walk, and newspaper took his picture and everything. And then they were interviewing, they did a bunch of follow-ups, and they were interviewing his friends and, family and stuff like that. And then they interviewed one woman who he went on a date with between number 4 and number 5. And she was like, I thought we had a great time and went back to his place. And then he, was being all rude and everything. And then he ended up kicking me out. And I was like, wait. As I was reading it, I was like, is she mad she didn't get eaten? It's hard to get context through text sometimes, but she just sounds so indignant. I'm like, wait. She doesn't even sound like, oh, thank goodness. She's like, what's wrong with me? Like, why? Like, all right, I'm delicious, okay? I bit my lip the other day and it was fire, all right? You don't know what you missed. But yeah, she said that, went back to his place. They were chatting and everything. And then, like, I don't know, he just, all of a sudden he was all rude and stuff. And then
and ended up being like, I think it's best if you just go home. You know what I mean? And there was a part of me that was like, look, maybe they were having a great date, great conversation, and then whatever was so special about this woman, he was like, I can't do it. I can't. She's too good of a person. Like, I got to get her away from me. Let me be rude. Let me just kick her out, something like that. You know, save her from me. But then the other part of me was like, no, I think this is the most annoying person that's ever lived. I think this dude is a serial killer, and he brought this woman home to kill her, maybe eat her, and then she just, at a certain point, the conversation is going so poorly, he's like, I can't even eat this bitch. Like this. Like, showed a picture of her kissing her cat on the mouth or something. He was like, some things are just disgusting. All right. Sometimes I really worry badly that we're like, as people, that we're lost. And that one of the reasons we're lost is that we don't really have any more like heroes to look up to. I mean, some people have heroes, but then the hero's like an actor, and I'm like, what are you doing? You want to be like the guy that pretends? You know what I mean? And just I was thinking about it for a while over the weekend. Because what we used to have was very little access to anyone we considered a hero. And because of that lack of access, if you really wanted to know about this person, if they became famous enough in their own lifetime, there'd be a person that came, a writer that came and followed them around for years, maybe decades, and then they wrote a biography. And we didn't even give a second thought to how biased it probably was, or how much the writer may have come to love this person. We were just like, okay. Wow, what a great human. But that's a problem. I don't even think that everyone makes it seem like Gen Z or Gen X or like millennials, all this stuff like that are so different. I don't think we are. I think every generation of people has always been hopelessly human. And now we just see all of it. That's what's so scary now, is that there are great leaders that may not get the chance because we already saw them not be like worthy. You know what I mean? We find out a lot of the stuff we find out about people now that we think are great after they died. And now we see all the stuff, we see all the mistakes happen in real time, and it makes people harder to follow. Do you really think you would have followed MLK if he did the Tide Pod challenge? Do you think if a young MLK in high school was like, oh, all right, this is Martin here, we about to see what it do. And then 5 years later, he's like, march with me. They might beat our ass, but come on. No. I'm scared that's what's happening right now. I think that there's a brilliant, young, but smart for her age, wise old soul. There's a incredible person out there right now, a young Angela Davis right now, twerking. And like up, like feet on the wall too, like nasty stuff. And then 20 years from now, when she's ready to lead a revolution, there are going to be people that are like, this you? This you with the booty? It's like, yeah, it was a different time. It's like, nah, I've seen it now. Yeah, this was tough. That's what we're all like. That's what's so scary. It's like, so that's why it takes so much faith to follow a person, but it's hard to have faith when you've just been exposed to all this stuff. I'll tell you what, I was in a TSA line behind someone. I won't say who it was, but it was someone who I respect very much for her work, right? And this didn't change how I felt about her. It's just what piqued this idea in my head, okay? She was in line ahead of me in TSA, and both of our bags got flagged, right? And so then they were doing her bag first, but I was standing kind of like near her because my bag was next. And I was like looking at my bag being like, what did I do? You know what I mean? Because when they flag it, you're like, I don't own a gun or anything. So like, what could this possibly be? And it's always water. It's water every time. It's water. Every single time it is water. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, there's no way I could have let my box cutter fall into my backpack. And also when your bag gets flagged and you're just like black, you do just start wondering what could happen. You're like, all right, but could somebody have put something in my bag while I wasn't looking? Or like, started adding up the jail time and everything. So I'm standing next to her, and then they open up her bag, and there's a buzzing, and so the guy is like terrified, right? Because as soon as he unzips the bag, because at first he's like chill, he's like that deadpan, like, are there any sharp objects or things that could hurt me when I put my hand in? And she was like, no. And then she's like staring at the bag while he's unzipping it, and then there's a buzzing, and the buzzing is like really strong, and it's buzzing so hard. Now he has to look, and he's like, do you know what that could be? And she's like, no, I have no idea what that could be. And she's like, my alarm is on my phone. I don't know what that could be. And so now this dude, and this is where you could tell that TSA doesn't get trained. They don't get trained for the bad stuff to really happen like that. And so then TSA, this dude over here, the bag is right here, right? This man puts a back foot, like he took a step back and bent his knees like he would run. And I'm like, but then what are we supposed to, because you're not telling us to back up. And you're not calling for backup. You just over here unzipped it through the flap. And then he starts taking some of her clothes out and everything, takes some of it. And like, when I tell you, like, look, I know it's going to sound like I'm being hyperbolic, but I'm being like genuine. When he goes to lift like another clump of clothes, because, you know, they're not careful when they do this. They're not like, oh, you folded everything so neatly. I'll just take 3 shirts at a time and move them out of the bag. They just grab and so he goes to grab, and when he ended up grabbing, what he grabbed was whatever was buzzing. And so then it was in his hand for a second, and then this man audibly screamed, right? So then he over here grabbing stuff out of her bag, and then he grabs it, and you can hear it gets louder when it's in his hand, and he pulls out, it's like, and he's like, oh, oh. And then this vibrator went to town on that table. I've never said, because it was okay. I don't know how she used it. This seemed like maybe I'm just vanilla, but I wouldn't be able to handle something like this because it was jumping on. So it wasn't just moving along the table. It wasn't just like this thing was fully like. This motherfucker started breakdancing on the table. And then she was like, oh, that's my, he's like, I know. And now he got his gloves, but then even with the gloves, he seems scared to touch it, right? So then he gets it and like, I'm not acting like I would have known how to turn it off right away. But this really was getting away from him. Like, it really was like he finally grabbed it and he over. I've never seen someone try to do police brutality on a bike, because he tried to she tried to choke the life out of it. And then he finally accidentally turns it off. And he breathing all hard like, is there anything else in there? And she was like, no, that's the only one. And he's like, all right, you're good to go. Puts in, then it did make me laugh at the moment. Like, so not only did he put it back in the suitcase, but then he really like put her clothes back like he was trying to kill it. Like he was. And when I bring the story up, like I said, it didn't make me judge her as a person. I still very much respect her. I'm just saying, if she were to lead a revolution tomorrow, I'd be like, all right, but are we going vibrator first? Because like, I just know that about you now. You know, I hope that's gonna lead the charge. You all have been phenomenal. Thank you so much. I'm Josh Johnson. You have a good night.
I don't know if y'all saw that Harvey Weinstein's conviction in New York got overturned. Yeah, no, it's shocking. It's not just like clear that he did it more than people that do it. Do you know what I mean? That's why he's an outlier. He literally has stats. You know? And I don't know. It's like you see him, and then you see like Cosby being out and everything, like fully out. Like he's like out. You know. And it does just feel like if women want accountability for men like this, you can't just depend on the justice system, you know? You're gonna have to start probably killing. I really don't see any other way. Like, I'm like, I have a vested interest in you not killing. I'm a man. But still, I don't know. It just seems like there's no way around it. You know what I mean? Like, and honestly, if you did start killing, right? If you started killing a lot of the bad ones, then you could probably believe us when we say we're the good ones. Like, I'm alive. Isn't that proof? None of the women have killed me. You might have a gash on the arm or something, but that's just, had to keep you in line. No. I think you're probably gonna have to do it. I really don't see any other way. Because people talk about patriarchy and everything, and sure, I understand, but you also have to remember that, like, as men, we're not all friends. I'm also scared of dangerous men. You know what I mean? And it's because they kill. So then if y'all kill too, that's really the only way to equality. You know what I mean? Like, that's in a sad but like poetic way. That's because even if y'all started killing indiscriminately, you couldn't do worse than men. So just kill a little. Like, okay. I feel like y'all aren't rolling with what I'm saying. And that's fine. That's fine. This is a new idea for me too. Okay? But I'm saying I thought about it a lot. You know? Like, if I had a daughter, I'd buy her a knife. Maybe a gun, but definitely a knife. Because a knife, you can think about it. You know what I mean? Guns are too easy to be like, oops. You know, much harder to miss with a knife. You meant to poke who you poked, you know? I don't know. Because I think that as I say this, it sounds crazy, obviously, and that's good because it means that you're all like productive members of society and stuff. But when you really think about it, that's the score, right? Like alpha things are usually just being the most dangerous person around. That's why when they tell you when you go to jail, find the biggest dude and punch him in the nose like a shark or whatever they say. But like, that's why they say that, because it's like that fear instills a calm, and the calm is safety. You know, like dangerous men are also scared, which is why they puff out their chests and act dangerous to get people off of them. You know, but if women started killing,
we'd all be a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, there'd still be catcalls, they'd just be quieter. You know what I mean? Feel like you pass by, but then they see that you brandish it, right? They see you packing, and you packing low, like you got a sawed-off shotgun, just out in the open. They're like, that ass. That was him. That's. I don't know, baby. Because I hear these stories and they're horrible. Like I have friends tell me about how they've put keys in between their fingers at night as they're walking to their car, you know? And I'm like, yeah, but if you do my thing. Y'all are acting like I'm being unreasonable and I'm trying to help. I've read a lot of history books. I'm just telling you what's gonna work. I'm just saying, you know, level the playing field of general fear, and in a weird way, it might be a better world. You know? Maybe it could work, you know? Like if you do it for long enough, it changes whole attitudes of like an entire culture, of everyone. Because then they'll be like, yeah, she might kill, like who knows, she might be a crazy one that kills, you know? But let's say the word is out that women kill now, and they kill as much as men, right? Now when you go in your boss's office and you close the door behind you and you ask for a raise, who knows? Maybe you kill. Or even just, if the word gets around that women are really out here killing indiscriminately, you know, crazy stuff, right? Because the way women do kill, I want to be clear about that. Women kill a lot, actually. They just do it to like people who they know, who they think deserve it. I'm talking about like killing across the board, killing because you upset. You know what I mean? If the word got out that women are just out here killing, I think you would hear like a pack of guys, right? A pack of guys is usually what women are afraid of. 4 or 5 guys drunk walking down the street together, right? I've had my friends tell me that that's terrifying to them. Just whether it's going to be catcalls, whether it's going to be like cornering them, whether it's going to be something much, much worse, right? And it's because of the way that men are. It's because men kill. There are men that do horrible things. I'm not saying that women don't, but just by the numbers, you know? So if word got out that women kill, you'd see those 4 or 5 guys drunk, walking around, singing their song, la, 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 right? But then they would hear the click of stilettos. They look at each other like, bro, run! It could work. I'll leave it alone, but also, I don't know, consider it. I was stranded one time in Austin. And when I say stranded, I mean like my flight was so delayed that I got to Austin and the airport was like closed. You know what I mean? And I was so hungry, but obviously every other thing was closed. And Austin didn't have the boom that it had now, right? Like Austin wasn't this like bustling place that everyone moved to post-pandemic. Like it was just regular Austin, the way that the locals used to like it. You know what I mean? Before the money came. And there was no food. And so I was trying to like Uber Eats and like nothing was open. It was crazy to the point where I don't know why I did it, but I just left the hotel room and started walking. I was like, maybe I can just find something on foot, right? I went down 6th Street and like 6th Street was closed.
That's their Vegas. That strip of 6th Street is like everything's happening at some point, right? But it was so late that it was early. You know what I mean? And so I was walking, and finally I passed this taco truck, and I was so excited. I was like, yes, finally, food. Because this is now an hour and a half at least after I got to the hotel, which is at least 40 minutes after I landed. So I've been hungry for a day. And I run up to the taco truck, and I see that there's bricks on either side of the taco truck. And then I realize that this taco truck is in an alley. I don't know if you've ever had alley food before, but it feels illegal when you ordering it, because you're like, why aren't you out? Do you know what I mean? Because I don't even know if I can describe this efficiently or no. The taco truck was basically just like, hey. It wasn't even jutted out or anything. It's literally like in the alley, like, hey, we got tacos. If you hungry. And there's not much space in the alley either. Like, I'm leaning up against brick, trying to be like, yeah, let me get a carne asada. I order these tacos. I eat them, and they taste different than I've ever. They're different in flavor than I've ever had before. These are truly alley tacos. I found out what that meant with them. Like, and maybe I wouldn't have even noticed if the packaging had been different. Maybe if I wouldn't have even noticed if this was a parking lot. I'd be like, all right, they're a little dry, but whatever. The fact that it was in an alley, though, I was like, no, I'ma die. I got a cactus taco. I remember this like it was yesterday. I got a cactus taco. I got, what was it? I got all vegetarian stuff. I got a cactus, I got a mushroom, and I got this like fried, I guess a fried mushroom as well. And so it was like cactus, regular mushroom, fried mushroom. And I ate all 3 tacos, and they very much taste like the middle of 2 buildings. And like, even as I was eating it, I was like, this flavor is floor. This is crazy. If I had eaten even 24 hours ago, I would not be eating this right now. But I was like, and I ate it. And I walked back to my hotel, and I laid down. And as soon as I laid down, my stomach was like, don't fall asleep. No, we gonna be up tonight. The worst part is that I had like a roommate in my hotel room because I was there for a festival. So I had a roommate in my hotel room who had got in the day before. So he didn't have any of these problems, right? He's like trying to sleep, and my stomach keeping us both awake. Every time he sort of dozes off, my stomach is snoring, right? And I got so sick. And it was a type of sick where you're not even like throwing up or anything. I was just sitting there sick, right? And I really thought I was gonna die because I started sweating. I was like, that shouldn't happen. It's not hot in here. That cannot be pouring sweat out of my body right now. I clearly ate poison. And he's like, where'd you eat this taco? I was like, it was in an alley. He's like, you ate alley food? He said it like it was a thing he knew about. Like alley food was just part of life. I was like, I didn't know it was alley food until I was in the alley. Don't judge me. I haven't eaten in 36 hours. And then I was just sweating to the point where I thought about going to the hospital. But I didn't out of embarrassment. I was like, I don't want to go to the hospital now and be like, yeah, I think I had some bad tacos. They're like, where'd you eat? I'm like, oh, in an alley. And because I'm not gonna lie, at that point, I feel like the hospital gonna turn you away. Like, I feel like, no, we not saving him. We only take care of people who don't deserve what happened to them. And so I was sitting there. I was really like pouring sweat, feeling so sick, wishing I was gonna throw. Like you almost pray for it. And I was just sitting there, and I turned to my buddy, who's very annoyed with me because I'm not proud of it. But after a little while, like after the first hour of stomach rumbling, I did start moaning, and that's and both of us hated that. Like my stomach was like, brr, and then I was like, oh. It was like I was crying, but no tears were coming out. And so I turned to him. I was like, I think I'm gonna die. And under his breath, he's like, just please do it soon. Like, whatever you're gonna do, please just get it out of the way. And I told him, I was like, if I get sick tonight and I die, if anybody asks what happened, tell them I got shot.
I get hyped for the 4th of July ahead of time, really far out, you know? Get great barbecue, you know? It's the country's birthday and everything, you know? It's the only time as a guy you can look up at the sky and be like, ooh, sparkly, yes. You still have to hide it behind machismo, like, yeah, it's sparkly, but it's blowing up, all right? Anybody can get it, shots fired, okay? You know, 4th of July is just a straight pride parade. That's all it's ever been, you know? It's just the one time a year guys get to be like, yeah! It's basically, don't act like it's not drag just because you put on a longer beard. Like, you dancing in the street too, you know? That's why I'm always blown away by people who complain about pride and they're like, there's no straight pride parade. I'm like, yours is coming up in a month. Like, you can't give it 30 days. Even when you think about it, too, you think about the way that the country came together, too. We think of the founding fathers as all these old wise men and everything, because that's when they got painted. You know, they got painted late. They had already survived the war by the time we painted them. When they were in the war, they were much younger. We got the pains when they were like 40. But they fought in the war. You think they were fighting in the war old? You know what I mean? Like, you think Washington was in the war like, get them, boys? No, y'all shoot. Oh. No, these were young men. Yeah, young men battling to create a country, you know? And it's mind-blowing how young they were when we won. You know, July 4th of 1776, Alexander Hamilton was in his 20s, early 20s. So was Aaron Burr. You know, some of the oldest people, I think even Washington was like only 40 or something. And that's just, it should be a testament to the fact that sometimes, you know, as much as young people don't always know the way, they have the energy to go the furthest, you know? So sometimes it's important to let young people lead and old people guide, you know? I think that's how you you know, because there's someone that has all the passion, all the fire in their heart to do something, to try to build a better world, and then there's someone behind them that doesn't have as much of the fire anymore, but is like, don't trip over that rock. Just go a little bit more left and you'll be fine. Don't do what I did. That's how I messed up my knee, though. No. Founding fathers they're fascinating to me because, you know, trying to carve out an ideal into making it, making it substantial, making it real, making it a country and everything. But there were still some pretty deep. I don't know. It's a hard thing to write down. All men are created equal, and then look over and be like, except. Yeah, I mean. So it's a dream that took time, still takes time, still hasn't been fully realized in the way that it's at least on the paper. Like sometimes people have this revisionist history about the founding fathers, like they would have wanted the best for everyone and for all of us to get along. And I'm like, no, they said what they meant. Do you know what I mean? Like, the founding fathers didn't have slaves, but also be like, one day someone will right this wrong. But I think about how even, people know more about Alexander Hamilton now because of the musical and stuff. But Hamilton, staunchly against slavery and everything, and he was young, so I'm sure he was like this young kid that people looked at like, this dude doesn't know what he's talking about. He just talks a lot, And it's funny how we know about Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr's feud mostly because of the musical, but we don't know how petty it got. Alexander Hamilton built a home in New York City, right? And Aaron Burr used his money to build a home down the street because he was jealous of where Alexander's home was, so he built the house pretty close by so that I guess Hamilton could see him hating from down the street. Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr were the original Kendrick and Drake. Amazing. I also get excited for the summer. I get excited for July because it usually means, at least for some years, that Will Smith has a new movie out. And it's happened. Bad Boys is out. It's crushing the box office, Does Will Smith slap all the money out of Hollywood? Man, I want them to make as many Bad Boys movies as possible. I want to see these men old. I want there to be so many Bad Boys movies that after a while you're like, boys? I want them to make so many they gotta change it to Bad Unks, As I'm getting older, I realize this year that all of my close friends are either in or closely approaching their 30s. And it's so funny because, everybody 30 and up, when people turn 30 now, they call themselves old, which is insane to me. That's so, like, medicine is getting good enough where you can kind of expect to live to 90, but you're old at 30. Why would you be old most of the time? That doesn't make any sense at all. You don't bring home bread and then the next day go, it's pretty old. No. But I get how people feel that way. I really do. Because what's happening is we know deep down, right? We have this obsession with youth, and everyone's trying to look young, be young, stay young, feel young, all this stuff like that. And it's mainly because, and I've said this before, it's mainly because we know how we treat older people. So we're more scared of that than we are getting old. What's wrong with getting older? You know more stuff. Why would that be bad, But I get how people feel old at a certain time, because especially people who are in their 30s now, we're in a very specific time that hasn't happened, at least the way that it's happening to us, right? Because we were like coming of age at a time that was like a turning point for what feels like almost everything, right? Business gets done differently now. Tech is different. Every aspect of life is different. And we remember right before and as it turned and now. You know what I mean? Like if you're in your like 30s, you're like 33 and up, you remember before Google. That sounds ancient. That's... Just to say before Google sounds like another century, because it was. I work with people that are younger than me, and I was explaining to someone, and I hate when I have to explain a thing that makes me sound older than I am, because they're a little younger. So then I had to explain before Google to them. And I sounded crazy. I sounded crazy to me, but I was there, so I know I'm not wrong. I sounded insane. I was like, no, because before Google, you had to just know. And if you didn't know, you had to ask somebody who you hope knew and was friendly. And if they didn't know, you had to go online. We still had online. Don't do that. We still had online. So then you had to go online and you had to ask Jeeves. And then they were like, "What is Ask Jeeves? Like, what is?" And I was like, "Ask Jeeves is. It's like if Google was white. Like it's." And so you had to ask Jeeves, and if Jeeves didn't know, then you had to go to the library, and you had to ask a librarian. And if the librarian didn't know, they would give you a number with dots. They would give you a library is like a house for books. They would give you a number with dots, and then you would go trace the dots and the number to a book, and then you would read the book to see if the answer to your question was in there. And if it wasn't, you would just know a bunch of different stuff. You would know. A book is like a slow Kindle. It's like. Like you scroll with your finger, but it turns like there's something to turn with your finger. It's not, there's no screen. And then, if your question, what you've been looking for 6 months, yes, it takes a long time. So maybe cut your dad some slack, right? It used to be harder to know. Do you know how crazy you sound saying it used to be harder to know? That's not how I wanted to end it. I know I'm getting older because I'm getting genuinely more and more nostalgic for small things. Like not movies, not like really small things about life. Like I miss growing up in the 90s. I think all of our appliances in the 90s were just better. They were just like top notch because not only did they last longer and they worked, but you could fix anything in your house by hitting it. Violence solves so much in the home. Growing up, all you need was some fists and some belief. And you could fix a whole house. Don't want me to call a contractor or anything. Like if you had just any appliance, you know? And what was special about it was that you knew how to hit it. You knew how to hit yours. That's very important. It wasn't just you could go hitting something. Well, you got to know your machine and you knew how to hit it specifically to get it to work. And it wouldn't work when you went over to your friend's house. You go over to your friend's house and their thing wouldn't be working and you'd be like, and they'd be like, no, you gotta go. And you're like, wow, I didn't know that. I don't have that model. That's good to know. So when I upgrade, it's 2. Okay, that's good to know. And it's 2 towards the front. All right, that's good to know. It was a beautiful time. I just felt like things really worked. You know? Like a 90s washing machine. A 90s washing machine you could hear it all through if you were lucky enough to have a washing machine in your home, if you had a laundry room in your home, you could hear, no matter where you were in the house, because the washing machine would be whooping your clothes. No matter where you were in the house, as soon as you started you would hold off watching a movie. Because you're like, we can't watch a movie and do the laundry. That's not, it's gonna mess up the experience, all right? It would be whooping the state. You could hear your clothes getting beat. And they were all loud, and they all just, like, the washing machine moved like it had legs. No matter where you were in the house, you could hear your clothes screaming in the machine. Just, oh! And you would go, whether it was your house or somebody else's house, you could go to somebody's house, you could tell how strong their washing machine was by how messed up the paint was on the wall. On that edge that was next to the machine. It would be beating your clothes, beating the stains out, horrific stuff, right? To the point where you could, even when you stained the shirt, you could tell, even back in the 90s, your shirts would be like, don't do that to me, bro. No, come on. Hey, no, we good? I'll push it out. I'll push the stain out. Don't send me in there with them. No. Be amazing. And then if there was a little malfunction, if the door wouldn't lock and lips started coming up and everything, you know, suds started spitting out everything, just took a little bam. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh. It was beautiful, you know? These new washing machines. I know I already sound like an old man, but I was at an Airbnb. They had a washing machine in the Airbnb, which at first I was very excited about. I was like, oh, it's amazing. You never get this, right? And the washing machine was state of the art. And it was like a Tesla washing machine. It had so many buttons. It had a keyboard's worth of buttons. It had more buttons than I cared to read. I just wanted to hit clean. It had a handkerchief setting. It was insanity. And then you put got stain on the shirt, put the clothes in, and then, you hit whatever, turn. There was a lot to do. And then you hit, and it starts, and you can tell something is happening because it's spinning, and you can see through it now. It has the little door where you can look in, and it's spinning so fast that the clothes are gone. I was looking and I was like, I can't tell if it's spinning or if it left. This is crazy, but it was silent, and I didn't like that. I didn't like that it was quiet the entire time, right? Just, but nothing. You couldn't hear anything, right? I didn't even know when the clothes were done. That would have never happened in the 90s. You always knew when your clothes were done because your washing machine would finish beating your clothes. And you would hear, oh! Because they used to put alarm clock stuff in the washing machine to make sure they made the same noise. This thing finished. I had no idea. It finished and it was like, hey. I don't want to disturb you, but I think I did it. And then I pulled the shirt out of the washing machine. The stain was so intact. The stain was sitting there comfortably. The stain was looking at me like it had its legs crossed. Looking at me like, your move. Even TVs. I remember we got a big screen TV and it was a huge deal, but the TV was if I remember correctly, it was kind of like a hand-me-down because we got the TV because it wasn't really working as much anymore. So the people that were throwing out the TV were like, we're going to get a new TV. And we were like, we don't have a TV, so let's take yours, right? And it was huge. It took up like most of the, remember the big 90s, tall, wide. Remember when TVs had ass? Do you know what I mean? Like really had it, like some true thickums. You know what I mean? Like, you would go over to your friend's house, they'd be like, I got a new TV. You'd be like, oh, she packing. Oh, wow. I don't even understand. I don't even know why they made them like that. But it had like, it would be the screen here, but then just boom, boom. And that was great because even though the TV didn't always work, you know, you knew how to work it, right? Because it would do that thing where all those TVs back then, when they didn't work, they would just get wavy. You know what I mean? Remember that? It would be like, I'd put on the news and it would just be like red, blue, green, red, magenta, yellow. And you turn on the news and be like, at 8 o'clock. Because I was little when we got this TV, and I remember turning it on and it wasn't working. I was like, Mama, the TV ate a popsicle. And my dad would usually be the one to hit the TV because he knew how to do it, right? But my dad hit the he hit the TV a lot. My dad hit the TV so much, sometimes I was wondering if it was really about the TV. You know what I mean? Sometimes my dad would hit TV. I'm like, no, it was working. That's how. But my dad hit the TV so much that I think the TV genuinely learned to recognize, hey. One time I was trying to watch the news and my dad came home. That's all he did. He just came into the house and the TV was like, 8 o'clock. As soon as he closed the door, it was like 2 people were murdered. And then I got a TV. I bought a TV for myself as an adult because I wanted to have my own big screen TV. I wanted to have my own, like, oh, I'm sitting at home chilling for the weekend, watching a movie, have a real experience for myself, right? And I bought it. It was too expensive. I took out a car note on this TV. This several payment TV, and you know, we bring it home. I'm excited initially. I'm super excited because you know they bring it home and they install it. They mount it on the wall and everything. Smart TV, brilliant TV, good grades TV, right? But I'm trying to watch this TV, and I want to be. I'm not like a dumb person, but like I cannot figure out. I cannot figure out how to get the subtitles off this TV, and it's like I can't stress how much this is not my fault. All right. I'm not like a dumb, like I know I'm up here doing the jokes and we're all having a good, but I'm not a dumb guy. Like this is crazy, all right? And I want to be clear, I know that it's not the HBO subtitles at all because then I go to the settings at HBO and HBO is like, it's not us. We're not the one to do it. But I'm trying to watch Dune 2, right? Trying to watch Dune 2 on this big screen TV. I turn on HBO, I'm watching and it gets to that part where like Timothy Chalamet doing that like Fremen language. So he's like, you know what I mean? Like whatever they say. And so then in the movie, they have subtitles for that part because nobody knows what they say, right? So then the movie, those subtitles come up. But then on top of those subtitles are these like nasty gray italic subtitles coming up. And I'm like, who is typing? That's not what I wanted at all. And I can't get it off. And it's great. And it was everything I watched. I would leave HBO. I could watch something somewhere else and they were like, and that's not even as bad as when I first got it. Because when I first got it, when I first brought the TV home, I don't know how it happened. It had the audio description on. All right. Now, if you, some of you are familiar. So, if you don't know what audio description is, it's basically if you're watching it and you're visually impaired, it will give you both context for what is happening in the show and things that are more like stage direction. They're just happening silently, right? So then I don't know that that's on. I don't know. I didn't press anything. I just turned on TV. I hit on the TV. That's all I did. And so then I went to watch Law and Order SVU. All right. So now I'm watching Law and Order, and Olivia is like handing somebody their ass, right? Like she's just like, you don't know anything about Survivor, you don't know anything. And then she walks out of the room, and then as she walks out of the room, my TV is like, Olivia leaves the room, and I'm like, who is that? Who is that? Who is in here? And I went to the settings. I went to Peacock. I went into the settings, and the Peacock settings were like, it's not us. We're not doing that. I've used remotes all my life. I've all the time used the remote, and I pressed the remote was not remoting. Finally, it was off. I don't even know what I did. Maybe I didn't do anything. Maybe the TV just decided to stop doing it. I have no idea. But I was watching a different episode, and Olivia was once again handing somebody their ass. You don't know anything about Survivor. You don't know anything. And then she left the room, and I was like, because what can you do with this TV? What can I do when I can't get the subtitles on? You can't hit it. You can't hit it. I took out a mortgage on this TV. You cannot hit it. You used to be able, when the old TV, when I was little, I would play Sega Genesis connected to the back of the TV, right? And then sometimes Sega would be glitching up, which, translated for kids means the game was cheating, right? So then the game would be cheating, and so then I would get mad, and I would stand up, like 10 years old, I'd stand up, and I'd punch the TV in its face. I would I'd punch the TV as hard as I could in what I thought was the nose, right? Like I would just, and I don't know what the TV was made, but I would punch the TV and I would pull back the most mangled hand. Cause I don't know what it was made of, but it wasn't glass. There's no way it was glass. It had to be like clear steel or something. Cause the hand that I was pulling back, all my fingers had switched up and stuff. My thumb was in the middle. And now you can't punch a TV at all. You can't even dust this TV. You just gotta bargain with it. You used to be able to hit everything. The only thing you didn't hit back in the day was the microwave. I feel like you didn't hit the microwave because then and now, we don't really understand how the microwave works. Yeah, I mean, I can only describe a microwave. If someone had never met a microwave before and they were trying to ask me what a microwave was, I'd be like, it is hot magic. Yeah, I mean, they put some hellfire to good use and just, it gets the soups hot when you put it in there. My grandma, when I was little, she had what I imagine was the second microwave ever made. Like it was one of the oldest microwaves I've ever seen, and it didn't make any sense. We would try to get rid of it all the time because it was so old that the door handle for the microwave looked like a door. Like it just. And then the buttons, she had it for so long. This had to have been, maybe it was the first microwave. She had it for so long that all the buttons had faded. So you don't know what you're pressing. I don't know what's potato and what's two. Like, every time you put something in this microwave, it's a gamble, right? You don't know if you're hitting defrost, if you're hitting 9 or whatever. And so, there was one time that everybody was cooking in the kitchen, but I wanted to make some easy mac in a little cup, so I flipped it open, put the water in, tried to put it in the microwave. It was like dun 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 dun, because I just had to go by feeling, because all the buttons were like Audis. That makes like all the buttons were poking out like. Go ahead, press me. Go ahead. Press me. I don't know what's gonna happen either. Press me. Let's do it. Do it. Do it. I remember I pressed the buttons and put the Easy Mac, but there's so many people in the kitchen. I'm getting pressed up against the microwave, and I didn't hit it. I just was pressed up against it, and my whole face started to get hot. And I was like, y'all, this is leaking. I don't know. It is leaking magic in the kitchen. We need to evacuate. Did y'all? Okay. I'm trying to figure out how I feel about it. I guess what I thought would happen happened, but you know, that whole Epstein list came out. I know, right? And it was pretty underwhelming. Like they were like dropping the list January 2nd, and then January 2nd came, and they were like, sorry, January 3rd, and then they dropped the list, and everyone was like just mouth-watering on Twitter, everywhere. Everybody was like, Jesus, list, it's gonna shake up the world. You know, and everything's gonna change after this list comes out. And then the list came out, and a couple people we thought were on it. And then when I saw the rest of the list, I was like, oh, that's right, I don't know any rich people. That's my bad. I don't really move in the circles for this to be a scandal. Because any name on the list that wasn't already a celebrity, I have no idea who that is. It could be the head of a bank. I don't know. Whoops. It's very interesting. It is also, I guess, a bit weird because if you on that list, if your name just came out, it's kind of weird because you really can't die now. Like, you really got to hold it together for quite a while, or else if you die, they're gonna be like, he was a bigger part of it. It's like, oh, jeez. No, it's a weird list. It's a weird gathering of people. You know what I mean? And not everybody went to the island. I'm not taking up for anybody because, once again, I don't know them. But some of them, a part of me feels a little bit bad for because they took a trip when the jet was going in the other direction. You know what I mean? Like, the jet goes to the island, but then the jet might go from New York to Philadelphia real quick. And then David Copperfield's like, I ain't got shit to do with this. What the like? Motherfuckers asked me to come over and do some tricks. And then they dropped me off at Indianapolis. I had a show. No. It is weird, though. I think the thing that scares me most about the list and our response to it was that we thought the list would have everyone that we know on it. But what were we gonna do about it? Do you know what I mean? Like, think about that really. Like, we thought all of these, like, celebrities would be on the list. It's like, all right, what were we gonna... Like, was the plan to... Like, I don't know, unless we were gonna kill him, what does it really matter? Do you know what I mean? We're just gonna be like, oh, you. You know what I mean? Really think about it. It's like, if you know, whoever. Let's say Aaron Rodgers was on the list. We're gonna not let him play? I don't know. It just feels like we didn't really have a plan there. We just wanted to see it, kind of like the burn book for Mean Girls. And then we were gonna just go about our day. Because it says a lot that we expected powerful people to be on the list. It kind of shows that we have no faith in them to begin with, right? So then we might as well just treat them like they were on the list and get rid of them. Like, it just feels like but Jeremy, I don't know why we needed a little bit more evidence that Lindsey Graham was shitty or something. I mean, like, I'm trying to be like a more like chill person. I think I get carried away sometimes. Like, I'll overthink things, and it gets me into this
I don't want to be a combative person. And I'm not combative outwardly, but in my head, I'll be like, what does that mean? Or I will overanalyze the situation to a point where I'm having a bad time, right? Like it can't even be called a restaurant. I went to a fast food, like chicken spot, and I ordered and they gave me my food. And I truly cannot remember if I asked for napkins or not. But the cashier, he gave me too many napkins. All right? He gave me a concerning, offensive amount of napkins. He gave me so many he gave me napkins, it was making a statement in my head as he was, because he put, okay, one napkin is not enough. If you get a meal and they give you one napkin, they're like, fend for yourself, right? 2 napkins might be enough. Maybe you're gonna wipe your hands, you're gonna wipe something down, whatever. 3 napkins is a perfect amount. 4 or 5 starts to be excessive. He gave me a clutch of napkin. He gave me what I can only describe as an unhoused amount of napkins. He gave me napkins like it was gonna be my blanket and my pillow tonight. He gave me, because he used the full width of his big ass hand to grab all these napkins and stuff them in the bag. There were so many napkins in the bag that if the bag had flipped, my food would have been safe, right? It was such a deeply offensive amount of napkin, because it just felt like he was saying, you can't take care of yourself. Like, he's like, yeah, it felt like he was saying, you gonna spill a lot. I can tell just by how you're standing that you spill. And I was talking to a friend about it. My friend was like, well, maybe, just maybe he recognized you and he was trying to give you the hookup. And I was like, okay, even if I'm trying to extend enough grace to not be offended and to think that my man likes my comedy, and so he's like, look, I don't have much, but what I got is these napkins. All right, so if you need anything, I got napkin wise, I got you. All right, napkin wise, I stay ready. Okay. I was like, nah, because he didn't. This is how I know he wasn't like a fan or something. He looked me dead in my eyes when he gave me all those napkins and he didn't smile. That was the most offensive. It's probably one of the most, it was a full middle finger using all his fingers. It was the way that he was like, all right. Deeply distressed. Okay, did y'all, by any chance, see the dude who jumped the judge? Okay, this is so great. Okay, look, if you have not seen it, if you haven't seen it, it's very quick. If you have not seen it, I'll try my best to bring you up to. Okay, so basically, I didn't know everything was happening. I had to read about it after I saw it. But in the video, you see a judge and what I think is a stenographer. And I knew something bad was going to happen because when the video starts, the stenographer in the corner already got his mouth open, right? And so the stenographer is looking ahead and going, and that is because I don't know how big this man is, but there is a man already in the air flying towards the judge, okay? Now, I don't know because of the angle, I don't know if he got a running start and started flying, or if he just flew from the defendant's stand. Like, because you know that table they got the defendants at, right? From the angle, it just looks like he jumped from there over, and then no judge's bench is eye level, all right? ever, okay? Which means he didn't just jump across and clear that space. He went up. And it is so sad that our first black superhero is this guy. Then okay. So then he jumps over, he full Soldier Boy over the judge's bench, lands on her. Now, I knew he was gonna get her when I saw him in the air because she was getting out of the way too slow. Because I think even I think in her mind, even she was like, he gonna bust his head on this bench trying to jump up here to get me, because she was kind of cold with it, where she wasn't freaked out even though he was flying her, which makes me feel like this must have happened before. And most people don't make it. Like, most people don't clear it and then they bang their head on the bench. You know what I mean? Because for the bailiff to not, the bailiff is nowhere to be found. He clearly jumped over the bailiff, right? Because the bailiff was probably like the stenographer was over here like, God dang. And so then he jumps up and lands on her. She goes down. They're both like under the bench for a second. Then the bailiff gets over there, and then I guess the stenographer, I don't know what this person's position was, but he was in a suit and he seemed very scared. They both start trying to fight this dude. So now this dude is whooping everybody's ass. Like, it's actually quite, like, in my mind I was like, is he on drugs right now? Because how do you fight from the ground 3 people as you get up? You don't even see that in the UFC, right? And you'll never believe. Okay, so she was denying his probation and she was about to sentence him, which is when he jumped over the bench and attacked her, right? And she was sentencing him. His case was battery with severe bodily harm. He did battery at the battery case. And I don't know what the other situation was. I have no idea. But she was about to sentence him. And I don't know how much time he was about to get. But it sounded like she was about to be like, I'm going to have to give you 8 years. And then this man was like, I'd like life, please. I'm sort of done with this outside world. Let me go ahead and stay forever. It's genuinely insane. I think that's the first person we've ever seen as a collective society that is going to get 10 million years. So, like, that's absolutely astounding. Yeah, I mean, if anything, I'm interested in what's going to happen next. I don't know if they'll let cameras in for it, but the judge said, the judge was like, I want to see him on Monday. This Monday, she's like, I want to see him on Monday by any means necessary. She used a full Malcolm X line. Because she was like, I didn't get to finish my sentence. Oof.